1, action.
I say now, welcome to 4th and 1.
Hey.
Well, I always got it done. That's your. That's your. I say now, welcome.
Come on
Don't
in.
got no jersey.
Come on in.
Been on the road.
We in your 10. Let's begin.
I say now, welcome to 4th and 1. Well, I always got it done. That's your. That I always got it done. I say now, welcome.
Come on in. Hey.
Inner.
Come on in. Hey.
The outer.
We in your 10.
Here
Let's
we
begin.
go. I say now, welcome to 4th and 1. Well, I always got. Hey, you know what? This ain't even right because this ain't even the whole show, so we might as well get on into it, man. Hey, appreciate everybody for tapping in, rocking with us. Hey, this is a special segment, National Championship coverage.
Yes, sir.
I will not be myself if I don't do it without my dog. Peggy!
What's good, bud? Yeah. Come on now.
Hey, you still up, Peg?
We in here.
Peggy, you set tripping.
Hey, bro.
What-
I ain't had no
Hey, bro.
Indiana jersey, and you said come prepared, bro. So, hey, in case they would have won,
Yeah.
I would have threw this on. I wish I had some tape to put across with Indiana, because that's who I was going for, brother.
I can't damn tell.
Well, you know what, brother? It's either this or skins or fur, in my case. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, let's talk about it, bro. Definitely one for the ages.
Yeah.
And I think as I look back at this game, if you didn't know, the Indiana Hoosiers won 27, beating Miami Hurricanes 27-21. The thing that I was most intrigued about watching the most is, will this game be competitive?
Yeah.
And every fan could appreciate. I'm up here watching the game, and I'm saying to myself, bro, we got everything that we asked for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The anticipation, the excitement, the joy, the the roller coaster. But there was one thing that as a Miami Hurricanes fan didn't get. Miami never got control of the game.
That's true. Indiana
Never.
definitely held that, yeah.
Even when Indiana was not playing great, it just seems like, they're one play away. Right when they was about to get one play away, disaster.
Bring that back.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the real, DNA of great teams and great coaches. Man, shout out to, Kurt Signetti, Fernando Mendoza, the pieces of that team. And man, this is being in that moment of winning a national championship. The sad truth.
What is it? What's the truth?
You have a couple of hours to enjoy it if I'm Fernando Mendoza. Because everything happens fast.
And what's everything in that moment?
He's not a professional.
Yeah.
Well, he's been a professional, but now he's a true professional.
Yeah.
Hey, where am I going to train? Who's going to be my agent? Where do I train? All these different things. Like, it's sad, Peggy, it just came up over me. It's like, it's sad that a guy like Fernando Mendoza has to still be on in a time where he doesn't get an off switch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just imagine seeing a clip of a Fernando Mendoza drunk tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
Which would it would be expected.
It's like, man, go party, have fun, live it up.
But here's potentially the first pick of next year's draft.
Yeah.
And he still has to monitor who he's around and how he celebrates.
That's true.
So where a walk-on kicker or a receiver or a DB or this particular person, that particular person could do, as a quarterback, you don't get to do.
Yeah, he's like on his interview right now. Like, he's during his interview process. And to beat a team like Miami, which they stated that he didn't even get an offer from as a walk-on, even to play for Miami, to be from there and to come back and beat Miami.
Yeah.
Bro, he had a Heisman moment. But, man, speaking of that, though, speaking of the game, you said a lot. But what was some of your key takeaways from this game? I know you said that Miami wasn't ever able to really control the game, and Indiana made up for a lot of their mistakes, like the block punt and situations like that. But tell us, what were some of your key components or your keys to the game?
Well, first and foremost, the most glaring thing is third down production. In the first half, what I'm looking at a statistic that says Miami did not have any first half third down conversions.
Yeah.
Those are missed opportunities. Not being able to sustain drives. They did not. They were scoreless in the first half. Now, granted, it was a very low scoring game.
True.
For the most part, with as many opportunities that you had. But what do you expect when you have a defensive led team on pretty much both sides of the football? And the schematics of what I'm expecting from my receivers. Everybody knows about Malachi Tony, but what about the separation from other receivers? They had to generate kind of separation through screen passes, short passes, and things like that, and the receivers just weren't getting open.
Yeah.
Flat out. Yeah. You know what they
strapping
it down.
Carson Beck was definitely holding on to that ball.
But in Carson Beck's defense, nobody was really open.
Yeah.
And it could be two things. It could be the personnel, or it could be the scheme or the game plan that was in place. But coming back out of halftime, Miami gets a 57-yard touchdown run by Fletcher, and that's when the game kind of opens up or loosens up. Now, on Indiana, on that type of dynamic, the thing that stuck out for me was the tale of two halves. Miami were able to kind of identify what they were trying to do. At one particular point, I believe Fernando Mendoza was 0-4 for completions. Then he has a quick completion, to one of his receivers, Cooper, on the edge that kind of, gets his guys kind of going or gets the offensive rhythm back. But more than not, it was guys. This was a heavyweight boxing match where certain rounds was won by certain teams, but nevertheless the winning team never faltered. Coach Signetti doesn't get enough credit for what he's been able to really conduct this year and how he's been able to construct his team to be national champions.
Yeah.
That right there is something that what we've pride ourselves on in this game of football, where coaches have always said, hey, I need elite talent to be able to perform at a high level. It's not about X's and O's more than it is about Jimmys and Joes. Where these Jimmys and Joes on the Indiana Hoosiers this year was a sheer display of guys that bought in.
Yeah, that's true.
And whether we want to believe it or not, I think Indiana is the perfect depiction of what we once knew the SEC to be, primarily Alabama, right?
Yep.
Alabama was always even though that they had very talented players, no player ever was bigger than
the team,
the coach. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Fernando Mendoza won the Heisman Trophy, the most prestigious award in all of football. And even Coach Signetti always was the person that was being seen, similar to how we would look at Alabama games to see camera flashes to Nick Saban. How's Nick Saban going to respond? We never seen a highlight from Trent Richardson, Heisman Trophy winner, Derrick Henry, Heisman Trophy winner, Mark Ingram, Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith, Heisman Trophy winner. It was always at the forefront of Nick Saban. And when you looked at Indiana this year, it kind of gave the same resemblance of that type of formula. Guys, the Indiana Hoosiers was coached elite,
Yeah.
and there was a breaking moment that anybody who knows sports understands this feeling of, okay, what do we do? Is this a time in the game where it's going to make us or break us? And that specific moment in time came where on this particular on this particular drive, 2 timeouts were taken. And for the people who may not understand the pressure of making very conscientious decisions, it takes time. And you want to make sure that you're not getting pressured into, hey, we only got 8 seconds to call a play. No. Let's make the right play. Going for it on 4th down twice was the real breaking point, because number one, you have to say, hey, I don't want to give them the ball with them potentially going up by a score that doesn't require us to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
We were up by 3 points. If we kick a field goal right now, we're going to go up by 6 points. But the time is still not in our best interest. It was around like 5 to 8 minutes, I believe, and Miami still had opportunity. That specific drive that I'm talking about, where Curt Signetti took 2 timeouts, they converted twice on 4th down, and one of those 4th downs that they converted ended up being a Fernando Mendoza touchdown.
Yeah, that QB drive.
It paid off, Peggy.
Yeah.
And why I'm saying is, in a time of the game where you potentially may have 6 minutes left, you only are left with 1 timeout. That's pressure.
Mm-hmm.
That's pressure. Because if you don't get the 4th down, now you wasted 2 timeouts and you don't have an opportunity to stop the clock if they go down to score, and now you don't score and you need the ball back.
But tell me this, though, Cam, as a player, when the opposing team, you have them against the ropes, they've been fighting back, but when they actually do convert on that 4th down, what does that do to a team? Like, how much air does that take out of a person's, or when they take out of a person's sail when you convert on that 4th down? Like, what does that do to the psyche, like the mentality of that team? Is like, dang, they made it.
Yeah, but it's just sustaining drive.
Okay.
It's not more deflating that they got the 4th down, more so than it is deflating when you realize you've been on the field for a 12, 13, 14 play drive. And you don't realize you're in the moment until you look back at the moment and say, we got to find a way to get off the field. Mm-hmm. You know, I said this in a way that did not know it will actually come down to this, but I was extremely curious to see what a game looked like if nobody committed any turnovers.
Yeah.
And that's what you've seen until obviously the last, turnover there at the end.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference between great players and good players. Is the ability to not panic. I think Carson Beck panicked a little bit at the end and pressed to say, hey, I got to get a chunk play. No, you don't. You read the coverage wrong. That was a bad throw. He thought he may have had one-on-one, but the safety was in a cloud coverage, which is in essence a too-high shell. That throw should not have been thrown. And that play cost Miami. Mm-hmm. I'm also left with the thought of, why didn't the most dynamic player on your team touch the ball? Like, you can't throw it to Malachi Tony enough. Yeah. In those type of situations, I am always reminded about, the quote that Bill Belichick would always reference his team and how he identifies superstars. Superstars aren't merely superstars in a regular game until we need superstars to be a superstar. And we expect the superstar to be a superstar.
But you got to give him the ball.
That's a lot of superstars in that.
Yeah.
In that one
It's a lot of superstars.
But what I'm saying is, if you have a superstar on your team in Malachi Tony, we are feeding him. We are calling plays designed to get him the ball. The moment is not too big for superstars. That's why they are labeled superstars. So for me, if I'm coaching, whether it's 7-on-7, whether it's high school, whether it's NFL, whether it's college, if this game comes down to any clutch moment, I'm putting the ball in the hands of superstars.
Why not?
And why not? That's why you got it.
They've been making plays to this point, so don't change it up.
You have to keep riding them.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much my keys to the game, and just understanding. Like once again, man, shout out to the Indiana Hoosiers. Shout out to Shay Cornett. She been rocking with the Indiana Hoosiers, her alumni, all year. And it was funny, Peg, because
Talk to me.
Me and Shells was in Miami this morning, shooting First Take. And the first thing I said, I was like, yo, there ain't no black people in Indiana. I mean, golly. Bro, everywhere we looked, there was a Caucasian person.
Supporting.
I ain't got no problem with my, Caucasian constituents. You know what I'm saying? While white people, I know some good white people. Huh? Just like I know some good black people.
Yeah.
Huh? But I started to look around the crowd and I say, hey, why everybody got on Indiana white as hell? Hey, man, where the brothers at?
Hey.
Huh?
They on the field.
Hey, where the sisters at?
Man,
y'all ain't out there. Ain't nobody out there over Indiana.
They showed up strong, though, bro.
You feel?
They showed up strong. Because we was talking about how is it really going to be a home game for Miami and how they show up. But Indiana definitely showed up strong. But speaking of Indiana, how should we crown Indiana in their season? Are they like the all-time or could potentially be the all-time best team in college football? What's your thoughts, bro? What's your thoughts, boo? No SEC bias, brother.
Peggy, that's a great question, and I'm going to tell you that's going to cause a lot of debate because it's hard to not crown Indiana Hoosiers 2025, 2026 football season as not being the greatest football team ever. They've done something that nobody else have done. Name me a 16-0 team. Name me another team that has had the highest point differential.
Yeah.
Name me a team that was led by a Heisman Trophy winner. Name me a team that's led by a potential first overall pick. All signs, whether we want to agree with it or not, if it's quacking, Peggy, if it's yellow, Peggy, and it's got to be, and it walk slew-footed, short, got feathers.
What they say?
It's a duck.
Now this chat is mad with you right now, Kim. I gotta say, a lot of people talking about the 0-1 Hurricanes.
That's cool. The 0-1 Hurricanes didn't go.
Florida State.
They didn't go 16-0.
Man.
They didn't go 16-0. And if we talking about anybody that is SEC down, it's me.
Through and through.
I'm trying to tell you. But when you put facts over fiction, and you put facts over emotion, when you start comparing the two,
Yeah.
it'd be hard for somebody not to agree to say Kurt Signetti has assembled the greatest football team ever in college. Because all the statistics show that to be right. Call them crazy for the strength of schedule. Oh, man, this was a down year in the Big 12 or the Big 10 or the SEC or the ACC. Man, call it whatever you want to.
Yeah.
But what the numbers will back,
Okay.
this is the greatest college football team ever.
All right, so let me ask you this, though. Since you said this is the greatest college football team ever, being in the Big Ten, have the Big Ten officially taken over college football? No. Is that too far? Why not? Explain that.
No,
Can we turn them up in the headphones too, our mic?
What I will say is we did not see this metropolis, thinking of the catastrophic.
Ken, they want to tell you get closer to the mic. They want to hear you a little.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't think people understood the true impact of the transfer portal.
You got to elaborate.
The transfer portal has allowed any team to have a chance in any given season. And when you factor that in, that's the loophole. Because if you assemble a right team or a good enough team, who's to say Iowa State can't do this next year? Who's to say Vanderbilt can't do this next year? Who's to say that San Jose State, who's to say that Oklahoma couldn't do this? I think we get so caught into, saying the who's and who is affiliated rather than saying like, yo, I'm orchestrating something. It don't matter about 5 stars. Kurt Signetti has proven that it's not about the stars.
Yeah.
And even more of the reason of like, who's giving the stars to the stars? Huh? Who's evaluating high school?
David said that, yeah.
Like, who's evaluating high school talent now?
Yeah.
And they've always evaluated high school talent. And there have been bums doing that, that know nothing about being a supreme athlete. Just because he looked the part, that doesn't mean he is the part.
Yeah.
So what the transfer portal has allowed and has stripped from the SEC was the ability to say a kid who may be on an SEC roster that says, if I have a person that's in front of me, I'm not binded to stay behind this particular person if I know the greatest thing for me is real reps. I'm going to go somewhere where I'm going to play right away.
Yeah.
See, people would go to schools primarily to get developed or to play for a coach. Or some would really say, hey, I've always been a Miami Hurricanes fan, and I've always rooted for Miami. I've always had dreams to play for Miami. Malachi Tony situation.
Correct.
Right? But more times than not, kids are following coaches. So I say that if you do go to a Miami and you don't play, oh, I'm leaving. And then I'm going to go to FAU. Then I'm going to go to FIU. Hey, I'm going to go to Florida State. Hey, that same coach that recruited me at Georgia now is the head coach at Winston-Salem. He's at Texas State. So the transfer portal's impact has now stripped the SEC from being the powerhouse that we once knew it to be.
Wow.
And that's facts.
Yeah.
So, and dare I, just, rage bait or clickbait or do certain things like Lane Kiffin. You're literally making a point or have made a point to say, hey, I just want the recruits. I want budgets to get the recruits. Well, now, with seeing the success of Indiana, now the recruits are like, yo, I'm 5-star. If I'm seeing what Kurt Signetti just assembled or just showcased all of 2025 and all of 2025 and 2026 is this. Them stars don't matter, bro. Does your involvement make us a better team? I'm seeing a guy in number, what's old boy name? Hold on, give me one.
Which one, the wide receiver?
Boy, what?
Number 80?
Boy, what?
But that back shoulder.
Boy, Charlie Becker was given number 24.
But number 24.
The Blues.
Hey, dog.
The Blues.
They was walking on like
the Blues.
God, tell my.
The Blues. Boy, he was giving them straight BB King.
Oh.
But he was giving them BB. And I felt sorry for him. Everywhere, no matter what the people say, I'm going to find you anyway. Back shoulder fade, all on you. You can't call for help because
he was holding everything.
Bro, and it's like, bro, what 24 way? Hold on, we need to play.
We need to play. Where 24 at?
Number 80. My boy Charlie. Chuck it to Charlie.
Bro.
Was definitely a person to say, hey, he ain't got no stars, but he's showing up. And you got guys who got stars that don't show up.
Facts.
That's what I'm in sheer amazement right now because we've never seen this happen. And I was teasing one of the Indiana fans because obviously everybody knows my affiliation with the SEC. Mm-hmm. Oh, where's the SEC this year, Cam? I say, right where y'all going to be next year, Indiana. But can I really say that with a straight face?
Because they out there. But this chat going crazy about SEC slander right now. Man. Everybody got something to say.
But it's true.
Yeah.
It's true, man. I enjoy covering sports in a way that gives the fans perspective without being biased to anybody.
So just to clear this up, are you saying Big Ten is the kings of college football, or it can be anybody? There's no such thing.
King.
Every year it can be a new person.
You can't sit up here and tell me next year that Indiana is going to win a national championship when you have upwards of 10,000 athletes in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
You can't. It's just facts. I think what I will say is, I don't think in 20 years we have back-to-back national champions.
Mm-hmm. And this is the first year Indiana ever have won a national championship.
Yes, but
and I think you're gonna see a lot, like you said, you're gonna see a lot more of that coming in and out. Like man, Texas Tech just popped up out of nowhere this year.
Obviously, for real,
make it as deep, but I think it will be more teams.
Everybody can play now.
Anybody got a chance now.
Everybody can play. Man, I'm looking at all the alumni from Indiana. No disrespect, I'm like, he went to Indiana.
Yeah,
she went to Indiana. Wait a minute. Where you been? Man, Indiana ain't been on point. Man, they get one sign of relevance, and boy, everybody's showing up and showing out. And it's good. It's cool. But I think people need to get used to understanding there's no more blue bloods in college football no more. The transfer portal ended that. There's no more blue bloods in college football. Those traditional legacy programs, they are out of the door. They're out of the door. The UCLAs in the 90s, the USCs in the 90s, the Notre Dames. No, bro. Michigan State can run the house next year.
Yeah.
Mississippi State can run the house. Wake Forest.
Come on, Winston-Salem.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I really want people to understand the dynamic and the impact of the transfer portal.
But all right, so let me ask you this though, because you had a lot of people, quote unquote, as they would say, up in age in college, like the experience factor. Do you see more of that happening, and how much do you think age dictates how people control the game?
I don't think it's age, Peggy. I think it's experience.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have coaches, players aligned with experience, you now can coach that person differently.
Yeah.
When you don't have no experience, you just wet behind the ears. You just like, oh my God, that's a lot of people.
You can be about 23 if you didn't play. It just don't matter.
It's like, man, this is a lot of people in the game. It's like, bro, we still have to perform at a high level.
Yeah.
Hey, man, dang, bro, my body tired. What with experience, you're going to have dog days. Man, I don't feel like going to class. With the experience, hey, bro, you got to go watch film. You got to go to class too.
Yeah.
And you got to give effort. See, with players that are recruits now, that's what the transfer portal has done. It has minimized the value of the high school recruit. If I'm a high school recruit and I see a transfer, you can ask any coach. They're not recruiting high school players the same. They only have about 22 to 25 scholarship offers that's rendered. They're spending majority of those offers on transfer athletes. So if I'm a high school recruit, no matter if I'm a 5-star or 5+ star, I got to make a decision to say, hey, man, let me go somewhere that I'm a play.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be so giddy about any team that has letters on their helmet.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I dig it.
The T's in Tennessee, the G's in Georgia, the A's Alabama, AU's Auburn. Like, all these people are running to these teams that they're never going to play at. Mm-hmm. And it's best that you go somewhere that you're going to still properly get developed so you can be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And like I say to all the players, you only need one.
Yep.
What's one? You need one good season. I'm a product of one good season. Now, it was a hell of a season, nevertheless. But when you look at other quarterbacks, and I would not bet against if Dante Moore would have came out this year. Mm-hmm. He may not have been the first pick, but he would have been a first-round pick, for sure.
For sure.
What you got?
So you said best version of yourself, and all you need is one good season. And looking at Fernando Mendoza, right? So came from Cal at Indiana. I'm just seeing the jump in his numbers. So a year ago at Cal, he had, 16 touchdowns. Now in Indiana, he has 41 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. You know a lot about popping on the scene and just exploding, taking college football by storm. Mm-hmm. What goes into that people don't see? And is this more of the team or is this more of him?
Coaching.
Coach Signetti.
It's all the environment. It's everything. It's coaching, it's personnel, it's everything. Cal probably wasn't structured to win the national championship, and that's people's revelation.
Yeah.
The team that you're rooting for is being coached by a Cheeks coach. Like the offensive system is not conducive to putting up points. They don't master nothing. They try to do a lot, but don't master nothing.
Yeah.
If you ever seen a Indiana game and you think that Fernando Mendoza is the most valuable player on that team, you're a fool. The most valuable player on Indiana is Kalen Black or Roman Hemby. Those are the two running backs.
Yeah.
They are a downhill running team. Fernando Mendoza was 16 of 27 for 186 yards.
Did not
There's never been a time this year where Fernando Mendoza has backed game after game after game and showed you 300 yards, 400 yards, and an elite display of throwing the football. And that's the thing that people will be combative about by saying, hey, this ain't the greatest team of all time. Because we align those words with the Joe Burrows. Because Joe Burrow will have game after game after game, him throwing for 280 yards, 312 yards, 400 yards, 290 yards, 300. Well, that's not Indiana's team. Indiana's team is still your traditional downhill run game. And when we have the control and are dictating to the defense, now we can open up and give our guys on the outside opportunities to make plays.
Yeah.
So as we are critiquing certain teams, we must take into consideration how we are classifying the team. Because it doesn't make Indiana any less of a team because Fernando Mendoza didn't throw for 200 yards. And it doesn't make the 2019 LSU team any worse because they was throwing the ball so much.
Yeah.
Now, one team may be sexier than the other. The 0-1 Hurricane, yeah, he's sexy. But another thing, too, is this. We don't know what these kids or these players are going to do at the next level. What makes it so easy for somebody to say, hey, this is the greatest team of all time, is because on that 0-1 team, you had guys like Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, Jeremy Shockey, Andre Johnson. They were All-Americans in college, and they were all pros in the NFL. Well, it's too early to tell who's going to be that on Indiana.
Yeah, I was going.
We say the 2019 LSU team. Yeah. Well, Joe Burrow was the first pick. He took his team to the Super Bowl. Well, Justin Jefferson is arguably the best receiver in the game. No, he not, Cam. Jamar Chase is. You fell into that trap because they both was on the same team.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Then you had guys like was it Stingley at cornerback. You got so many players that were good, that not just were good in college, they were good at the next level too. And that's what makes it sexy for somebody to easily say, these are the best teams ever assembled in college.
And I was going to ask you, I know you said it's too early to tell what would somebody or how will they matriculate in the NFL, but I was going to ask you, Mendoza at the next level, what type of quarterback or what type of system do you see him playing in that he could flourish in? If you could answer that right now.
Yeah, I think Mendoza's greatest gift, similar to a lot of game changers in this league, every game changer has to embody this, the ability to manage the game at an elite level. And that's what Fernando Mendoza has shown us. He had one throw that I was like, ooh, read it wrong. Or the defensive back made a great play. But other than that, he had reason and validation and conviction for every single throw that he made tonight, whether it was accurate or inaccurate. That's where the ball was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So for me, it's one of those things that I'm saying as I'm analyzing, Fernando Mendoza and how he's going to be at the next level. It's simple. Well, he's shown that he can manage a game at a high level. So what team is going to extract that from him? And I will hope for if that team is the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't think this roster that the Las Vegas Raiders have right now is enough. So therefore, I believe he will struggle. Any quarterback will struggle with that roster. You need additional help. You have a tight end. And is it Brock?
Brock, from
from Georgia.
Georgia,
Brock Bowers. And other receivers that you traded your best receiver to Jacksonville. So hopefully you get some picks with that. You got a running back in Ashton Genty. So my whole thing with young quarterbacks, especially at the next level, is three things. Number one, you have to protect them.
Yeah.
Number two, you have to have talent around them. And number three, you have to equip them with a defense. You cannot expect a quarterback to carry a team as a rookie. Some quarterbacks have done it. But for longevity's sake, those are the three things that you need.
So I'm going to jump into the chat. We have a lot of burning questions, all right? So, Cam, a lot of people are asking, and I know you already answered it, but just to answer it clean, cut, and dry, is this Indiana team better than the Auburn team when y'all went undefeated? What's your opinion on that?
I think they got more talent than we had, but you'll still have to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the qualities that Indiana possessed is what we did as well too. Like everybody wants to play a comparing game of something that you'll never figure out and never find out. Yeah. Hey, Jordan versus LeBron, like you'll never find that out. Hey, the New England Patriots versus the Don Shula Miami Dolphins, like you'll never find that out.
Yeah.
Well, in this particular case, I'm seeing certain trades of skill sets that are aligned and matched, but there were guys that played above, average or above expectation on our team, and I could say the same with Indiana. Go ahead.
Also, too, a lot of people are asking, should the Browns trade up to get a Mendoza in the quarterback room?
Well, the Browns need to find a coach.
That's a fact.
Like, they can't do a damn thing right now. Because we got Atlanta, who just hired their former coach, and Kevin Stefanski, which is definitely a head-scratcher. You got New York Giants, who hired John Harbaugh, over the weekend. And now you have a Buffalo Bills team who does not have a head coach either. So let's start with getting Cleveland a head coach, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead.
I don't know if this is accurate, but they said, why did IU blow out every opponent in college football but Miami? Blow out every opponent in the college football playoffs but Miami.
Because of one important statistic. Miami didn't turn the ball over until the last drive. Every team that Indiana played in the college football playoffs turned the ball over, and they were able to get points off of those turnovers. If you go back and you look at the Oregon game, it was a blowout, not because of the statistics that was shown. It was the statistic that was glaring was the amount of turnovers and takeaways they were able to get. And what we have praised Indiana for all year as a DNA of a team that does not make a lot of mistakes, they almost got burnt by that. Their offensive tackle, All-American tackle, jumps off sides or has a false start. Now it takes away a 2nd and 1, now makes it a 2nd and 6, now inevitably led to a 4th down, which they had to kick a field goal. You had certain plays that was happening throughout the game where the Indiana Hoosiers of this year, they don't make mistakes. They are the least penalized team in all of college football.
Yep.
And their turnover differential is at the top 3, if not the first in all of college football. That's why you will not get teams like Indiana to make mistakes, because they cause you to make a mistake. And for the most part, Miami did not have any looming mistakes until the interception at the end.
Yeah. And then, that block punt. But
correct.
That
correct.
Block punt was.
Man, I remember a statistic that Coach Urban Meyer would say, and that's why he spent so much time in special teams. Your probability of winning, and when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, Indiana gonna win. Your probability of winning a game if you have a special team block kick, a block punt. The team who typically blocks a punt, typically their probability of winning goes up by 70%. It's so crazy.
70?
70.
Oh, that's crazy.
70.
This
was around 2007, but I'm pretty sure it still remains true. And every single game that I've ever saw, the team that blocks the kick, blocks a punt, typically wins. And it's so weird because I want it to be. Hey, that statistic wasn't right, and lo and behold, it was right again tonight.
Yeah. So we also had a question too. A lot of people are asking. We talked about Mendoza and some of the great things that he does, and how he might matriculate and grow in the NFL. What do you think about Carson Beck and his next steps in the NFL?
Late round pick, free agent, and it was reasons like what we've seen tonight.
Because that's a question. Because people blossom in college.
It's decision making, bro. Yeah. It's decision making. Let's just be honest, man. I said it today on First Take. How we judge great quarterbacks is by two things and two things only. How you play late in the season and how you play late in the game.
Yeah.
We judge quarterbacks by how they play late, whatever that late is. Don't tell me you're a great quarterback in the first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter, and all of a sudden in the fourth quarter when we need you to lock in the most, you're not great. Let's look at Caleb Williams.
Talk.
Caleb Williams' ability to perform in the fourth quarter is one of the main reasons why the Chicago Bears was in the position that they were in. First quarter, Caleb, very mid. Second quarter, Caleb, oregano. Third quarter, Caleb, Reggie Bush.
Bro, man, not the Reggie.
You feel me?
A little bit of KB, huh?
Man, listen.
You ain't no cush yet.
Man, listen. That fourth quarter, though, boy.
It's that loud.
Pablo Griselda
Woo!
El Chapo.
Pop it.
I'm trying to tell you. Nicky Bond.
Not Frank Lucas. Got to much.
Demetrius Flannery.
Ooh, ooh.
But for y'all don't know,
That's Terry.
that's Big Meech.
Big
You
me.
feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boy, Ricky Freeway Ross. Boy, that boy turned into a different animal.
Yeah.
And that's how we judge if a quarterback is great. For the most part, consistently, Carson Beck hasn't shown that. That doesn't make him a bad player.
Yeah.
Like I was saying about Josh Allen today. He's just not clutch.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how clutch Tom Brady is and was? Do you know how clutch Patrick Mahomes is and is?
Yeah.
When the moment is set for you to be at your best, you're at your best. And everybody around you know they have to be at their best.
But what would you say to Carson Beck? He made that big play against Ole Miss, and then now he shows up, at a bigger game, bigger stage.
Hence to the word consistently.
Mm.
Well, show me Louisville, Carson Beck. Show me North Carolina State, Carson Beck.
Mm.
Show me these games that Carson Beck has had where it's like, hey, bro, hey, man.
Come on.
Hey.
That check cleared.
You are in the only position in the percentile of players that you cannot be the reason why we losing.
Mm-hmm.
You could be a running back, and you can say, don't worry about it. We'll get another running back. You could be a receiver. You could be the – no, we ain't going to let you.
Yeah.
You could be a D tackle.
Yeah.
It's really only two positions that's unforgivable in football that you cannot have that position and be the reason why they lose. Because you will lose. Quarterback.
Yep. I think I know the next one.
Let me see where you at. Hold on. Let's say it at the same time. On the count of three. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Kicker. Come on, bro. Them the two spots. Ain't no subs out, bro. And the game is on you. Quarterback and kicker.
Ain't no subs. A quarterback and a kicker.
Bro.
Those are the two positions where you can't suck. Because if you suck, that means we lose.
That's facts. That's
If we got sorry receivers, cool. We gonna run the hell out the ball.
It's an alternate.
We gonna turn the tape.
Come on.
Army.
That's it.
Read option. Huh? We can't run the ball? Air raid.
Come on.
5 wide.
There you go.
Annexation of Puerto Rico. We ain't got a good defense, so we going for it.
Boy, all the time.
I'm trying to tell you, like the God I serve,
Okay.
it's always good.
Okay.
Huh? I'm trying.
Man.
But if you can't kick the ball,
Golly. Boy, where you been?
what you got for me, Peg?
Man, they running through, man. Oh, was it Miami out-coached in this game? Would you say they were out-coached in this game?
Yes. But that ain't saying much. That's not anything that's new.
Yeah.
I think Kurt Signetti outcoached everybody they played this year. Dan Lanning outcoached him. Mario Cristobal outcoached him.
Yeah.
Who else they played? Outcoached him. Ryan Day outcoached him. We find ways to win. And yeah, he speaks a lot of the fans' language where he pop his mess. He's like, hey, bro,
Google me.
Hey, we win. and he's backed it up. So you only can love a guy like that.
That's
so, man, you don't like it, stop it.
Yeah.
But it'd be hard for me, going back to the point of it's hard for me to look at Indiana next year to be a team that would be a favorite to win the national championship again. I don't think
even with the obviously same coach,
he has it. Coach, your quarterback's gone, a lot of your players are gone. But you got to understand this. That's where we at with college football right now.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna hit no Drake back to back no more. I don't foresee that.
Yeah.
Because I would love to find out if some players in Indiana is in the transfer portal. Everybody ain't excited in Indiana now.
They got what till the 24th?
Huh?
Yep.
I'm about to slide. Just let me slide. You feel me?
That's real though. That's real. So you said, also too, I was gonna ask. Talking about turning the page to next year. This player, obviously Malachi Tony, but who are some players that you would say like your key players for next year?
Man, bro, let me tell you this. And I have a great relationship with Malachi.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, Malachi and doggone Winston Watkins called me on hotline. Go, man, what you doing, man? Play me in Madden, man. I don't want to play you in Madden. Play me in I don't play NCAA no more. It's too cheating. But what I would tell, I give them two examples. Jeremiah Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Or what's the kid at Alabama?
Oh, Ryan Smith?
Ryan Williams.
Ryan Williams. I'm talking about Ryan Smith.
I give them
Ryan
two
Williams.
examples. One's here. The other one. So my conversation with Winston as a freshman who did not have much of an impact at Ole Miss, who's now at LSU, I said, bro, how many yards you had this year? I had 360 yards. Cool, 1 touchdown. I said, cool, you got something to work with. You got meaningful reps, all right? Just make sure that your trajectory is doubling that for next year. Everybody won 1,000 yards as a receiver. That's cool. But everybody may not get it. Why? It's not because you're not good enough. It's because your scheme may not be contingent of you to have that. Mm-hmm. Just put good film on. I would rather for you to have this in your career. Freshman year, 360 yards. Sophomore year, 690 yards. Junior year, 982 yards. Senior year, 900 yards. That's showing growth, right? Rather than a guy who's had 1,200 yards his freshman year and then 500 yards his sophomore year.
Yeah.
And then 450 yards his junior. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
That goes back to the argument of development over anything else.
Yeah.
If you're getting properly developed, then therefore, when you need to peak, you're going to be peak yourself.
Yeah, that's real. This is a good question that came in before we wrap it up. It said, is it an advantage or a disadvantage for NFL teams to analyze players coming into the draft that have played for multiple college teams? Is it an advantage or a disadvantage?
It's a great question, but they're going to analyze all their film.
Mm-hmm.
I had one of the scouts tell me, that I was in Carolina, that they were watching junior college film with me.
What?
You got to think about it. They only have 14 games at Auburn. So then they had to go back in junior college to try to salvage anything because I only had 1 year. So for the most part, that's all they had. Yeah. So if they did that for me, of course they're going to go to San Jose State. Fact. Then they're going to go to Washington State. And then they're going to go to Arkansas. And then they're going to go to Texas to watch as much as they can before they inject all this money in your bank account.
And it can show if you can adapt to a different system, especially if the offenses are different.
You don't necessarily want to do all that adapting to the system.
I'm just saying.
You keep playing musical chairs and a revolving door. We don't want that. Mm-hmm. We don't need that.
Yeah. Do you think Malachi Tony could be in the Heisman running next year?
Absolutely.
Like that?
Absolutely. And I think Malachi Tony comes from a great foundation of a family dynamic. His mother, bro, is a woman that knows exactly what she wants from her son. Mm-hmm. And she ain't the rah-rah type. She not the one, very soft-spoken. And Malachi has always been the respectful individual that every parent will want their son or daughter to act like. Yeah. Yes, sir, no, sir. Clean up behind himself. You know what I'm saying? Ask for permission to do certain things. And that's what you can respect. So when he shines, it puts an additional smile on your face because he's a good kid.
Yeah. And also, too, could Kurt Signetti be, maybe too early, but could Kurt Signetti be the new Nick Saban of college football?
Yes. I thought you was about to say something else.
What?
Could Kurt Signetti go to the NFL?
What you think about that?
No.
He doesn't. So hold on. Before we get to the NFL part, why do you think he could be the new Nick Saban?
It's just implementation. Mm-hmm. Well, this is something that I heard over the weekend, and it just came to me when you asked this question. Mm-hmm. Right? There's no doubt about Nick Saban's impact in coaching, because I didn't think of it this way.
Talk to me.
But I was hearing a former player talk about if Mike Tomlin was a Hall of Fame coach or not.
Yeah.
And Debo.
Yep.
He said no, because he did not, he used this word, he does not have any disciples.
Yeah.
That has came from his cloth of coaching.
Correct.
Well, when you look at Nick Saban,
2 of my coaches in the national championship.
2 of my coaches was also in the semifinals.
Yeah.
So that was 4 of my coaches that was once up under me at Alabama. Mario Cristobal, Pete Golding, Dan Lanning, and obviously
Kurt
Signetti. So when you talk about being the modern day version of Nick Saban, absolutely, that's easy. I think he's very intentional, very direct, and it's easy for him to identify what he wants to do, and he does it. And it's not to say, hey, we got 6 seconds of discipline of one play. Every play is a new play. Like that's click stuff. But you see his team playing that way. Mm-hmm. Now, to differ in opinion as far as him going to the NFL, I don't know if that dictatorship will carry over into the NFL.
Because so the difference between college, you have more of a dictatorship of how you want the program to be. You call more the shots.
I don't like the dictatorship. I'll just give this analogy.
Because it's starting to change with all this NIL too coming in too. You don't think so?
But this is what I want you to understand. In college, the coach reigns supreme. Mm-hmm. In the NFL, the coach is equal.
Say that again for the people that don't understand.
In college, the coach reigns supreme.
Correct. He has the final
Coach Signetti.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coach Cristobal.
They don't, but they answer to the AD though still.
Yes, but the players, I'm saying,
Go straight.
right? Like they have a hierarchy in that regard.
Correct.
In the NFL, the head coach and the players are equal to each other.
Because you got answer to the
It's
GM,
like Mario.
president, owner.
That's like,
Yeah.
no. You're looking at it wrong.
Oh, you're saying we're both adults.
Yes.
You're not
That's
like
we
raising.
ain't worried about the
We all here at work.
Yeah.
Okay, I
You
got
a
what
job,
you're saying.
matter of fact, I get paid more than you.
Facts.
Like we equal.
Yeah.
I don't have to call you coach. I call you Bill.
Yeah.
I don't have to call you. I call you Mario.
Yeah.
I don't have to call you coach. I can call you Kurt.
Yeah. We
I don't have to-
coworkers.
I call you Sean.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, Matt Stafford and Coach Sean McVay, their dynamic is Sean, Matt, Sean. It ain't Coach McVay. And that's what people don't understand about the NFL. We're literally experiencing something where we was having a debate today talking about, hey, Brandon Beane, general manager for the Buffalo Bills, should involve Josh Allen on the next head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
Promoted.
Like, wait, what? And even though he got obliterated with this comment, the owner of the Baltimore Ravens said it abundantly clear. And all owners think like that in some way, shape, form. He got say, but he don't got no power. Mm-hmm. I don't give my players power. And I don't know why everybody was all up in arms about that, because that's how everybody operates.
Man, facts. They just ain't.
He just said it. You just don't say it. Yeah. He said it.
I'm the one cutting the check.
Like, listen, I can listen to how you feel, but I'm still gonna do what's best for this team because I pay you. It sounds messed up. But it is what it is. Yeah. You don't think these NFL owners be having these type of discussions? What y'all got going on down there in D.C.? What y'all doing down there in Carolina, Atlanta? Mm-hmm. Nah. Y'all running y'all precinct like that? We don't do that. No. Man of the year, no man of the MVP, no MVP.
And I know there's some conversation, especially when they start paying them checks. How much you paying?
It still don't matter.
Yeah.
He said it best. He has say, but he has zero power. Oh my God! Everybody tried to crucify him and crush me. Hey man, bro, that was the realest stuff, and I can respect that because that's how people operate.
Yep.
Everybody knows that. Now, when you start talking about players in the NFL versus coaches in the NFL, you already know, man. Hey, bro, you better check your tone when you're talking to me.
Facts.
Because big dog. I'm big dog around here. Huh?
I feel it.
You feel it?
Yes, sir.
That's it, Peggy.
Man, that's it, bub, man.
Is that it, Peggy?
That's it, bub. But before we go, one last thing, man. We got to say, man, congratulations to Indiana for winning the College Football National Championship. And happy MLK Day to all the people. I know it's the next day, but definitely want to get that out of there, but that's it.
That's it. Did you know?
What's up?
Martin Luther, that was not his original name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What was his middle name before Martin Luther?
Peggy.
Well,
I be finding out so much stuff. And not to look at him sideways, but I was like, that ain't his real name. He changed his name to Martin Luther. Same way Jamie Foxx changed his name to Jamie Foxx.
For real? What's your real name?
Mr. Peggy.
Yeah, that's when you was pushing P, huh? Yeah, you was the legend.
And I named my son after me.
Man, please, I smack you. Come on.
Is that it, Peggy?
Man, that's it.
We're going to add a finger then. We're going to finger.
Okay,
hey.
KK.
Add a pinky then.
Hey.
Add a pinky.
Okay,
Why you
KK.
add the thumb. The thumb. Yeah. All together.
One love.
You dig.
And that's our wrap.